Bosh. Hello everyone, how you doing? Everyone had a good week? Ain't it hot? Got no wine this week, I've got to have a lager because it's too hot. Right, so this week, right, because of the hot weather, I thought I'm going to do you something to go with your barbecue. We're going to do the famous triple. We're going to do patatas bravas. So we got some diced parboiled potatoes here, only 5 minutes. Patatas bravas, we got chorizo al vino. You get yourself a nice chorizo round. You can either spicy or sweet. Make sure it's not too hard. You don't want it too firm. You want it a bit squidgy, like that. Just give it a squash. And we're going to add gambas pil pil. So that's prawns in garlic and chilli to everybody out there. Gambas pil pil. Chorizo, not chorizo, not chorizo. Chorizo. The Z is said like a TH, or you can just say it like a Z. Chorizo or chorizo. Nothing else. Right, so let's start off with the patatas bravas. I'm going to show you how to make the sauce. That jizz you get all over your plate and your potatoes in Spain ain't the proper sauce, let me tell you. So we're going to do the proper way. Get yourself a pan, nice glug of olive oil. I mean a proper glug, like that, lovely, look at that, smashing. And away we go. Then you stick in, wait till it's nice and hot, then you stick in your onions and your garlic, about 4 cloves of garlic and a small onion, chopped up small. Wait till it still starts cooking up, then stick in, I use tin chopped tomatoes. You can use fresh tomatoes, you can get your roulette out, you can mix it all up, it takes forever, I don't know why you want to do it. Roulette, whatever you call it. Just use a tin of tomatoes, why not? So we come back to that once it's all done. So, just to recap, onions, garlic, and then tomatoes, and then once it's cooking, I'll show you a nice little finishing touch. See you in a minute. Alright, so this is how you want to get the onions and the garlic to about like that. See, it's all cooking away nicely. This is when we sling in the tomatoes. There we go. Let that boil up. And this is one of the key ingredients why they call it patatas bravas. Patatas is potatoes, bravas is wild. Wild comes the heat. So you want a level teaspoon of paprika, good paprika. This one, cauca, you'll only get in Galicia in the north of Spain. So if you can get a good one, don't use the Hungarian one, trying to get a Spanish one. It's much better. And once that's in, you want about, I'm going to do it over the sink, you want half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. That's where you get your heat from. Just half a teaspoon, no more than that, because your mouth will be on fire. And you let that cook away. Right, start to smell nice already. So you let that reduce a little bit. Oh, look. There it is. Salt. You need a good old wallop of salt, like that. About roughly, say, 10 grams, just 2 teaspoons full. And never forget this because it reduces the acidity. Use a level teaspoon of brown sugar. Then taste it as it's cooking, because we're going to put wine in this as well. If it's still too acidic, put in a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, and that'll just take it nicely back while still maintaining the flavours. So that's cooking away nicely. Give it a good old glug of wine, white wine. There, about half a glass, well, that much, ain't a lot. And let it reduce a bit more. We'll come back to that in a minute. Right, so it's been simmering for about 10 minutes. These are a little bit longer, but come and have a look. See how, this is how thick it's getting. You want it to reduce a little bit more. But at this point, we can let it keep simmering, and we're going to turn on the pan full of olive oil to deep fry the potatoes. Use any old olive oil you can get. Reason being, because you spend more money doesn't necessarily make it better. 45% of the world's olive oil is made in Spain. So just get a decent one. I'll get mine out of Aldi. Aldi's a bollocks. Aldi's like the best for everything as far as I'm concerned. It's how you make it taste. It's the important thing. So let's turn it on. And then whilst this is reducing, the oil's heating up, and then we can throw the potatoes in. Then it should all be done at the same time. In the meantime, I'll start preparing the chorizo for the chorizo al vino. So, cut the end off. You can take off the skin, but because this has got a thin skin, you don't really need to. I cut it into, I don't know, maybe centimetre thicknesses like that. You can cut as much or as little as you like, depending on how many people you can have. If it's just for you, you can be as greedy as you like. Me, I'm very greedy, so I'll probably do the lot. So, there we go, let's just start that off. Right, so the oil's nice, it's already nice and hot, so we're going to sling all the potatoes in there. Mind you don't burn your hand, the little thingy. Yeah. Have we? I've just tasted it, and yeah, they certainly are wild. But that's the consistency you want, like that. Right, so that's ready to go. We'll wait for the potatoes. Whilst we're waiting for the potatoes, we're going to start doing the chorizo al vino. Again, I don't know where I put it. Hold on, give me 2 seconds. Where's my olive oil? Thank you. Right. Just a little bit, not a lot. Maybe that's a bit too much, but doesn't matter. And that'll do. Now we'll wait for that to get heated up. Once it's heated up, we'll throw in the chorizo. Right, so the oil's nice and hot enough. Stick in the chorizo. You can see the paprika and the garlic coming out of it now. Just want to keep it going a little bit. Stir it about. Make sure it's cooked evenly. Turn it down, not too high, not all the way up. Just turn it down a couple of notches. So that's all the way up to number 6, put it on number 4 or 5. You get a lovely smell coming up. Potatoes are nearly done. Look at them, beautiful, beautiful. And hopefully we'll serve these two up together, and the gambas pil pil will be the last spin. Right, so I think they're cooked enough on one side. We'll start turning them over, give them a toss them about, plenty of tossing, we like all the tossing. You don't want to cook them too much, just enough to get all the flavours out on both sides. And give that a couple of seconds. Then, once that's cooking off nicely, turn the heat right up. So you can see smoke coming out of it. When the smoke comes up, this is what we do with the old vino tinto. A little bit. And a little bit more. Get the alcohol burn off. Let it reduce a little bit, not too much, or else you just end up with olive oil. You'll be able to smell when the alcohol's burnt off. When it shoots out, I can smell anything. There we go. Lovely. That is enough for me. So there we go. We put it in one night. Well, I've got these. You lot ain't. Maybe you have. That's that one done. Excellent. Turn that off. Let's check the potatoes. Trying to do this in real time, people. Real time. Nearly done. Nearly done. We give them a second more. Alright, so the potatoes are nicely golden, that's the colour you want them. So, here we go. Golden. I won't get them all that. I'm sure you're going to, you know the SP. So we've got them out. We've got nice brava sauce all over the gaff. Look at that, beautiful. The real deal. None of that shit you get in Manuel's bar around the back of Benidorm. There we go. Top it up. I use parsley because, basil, because parsley doesn't taste of anything, and at least you get a nice little. There we go. This is going to knock your socks off. Right, people, that's 2 out of 3. So we'll leave those there. The other doesn't take long. And now for the last one, gambas pil pil. You're going to want some garlic, loads of garlic. You're going to want a fresh chilli. You're going to want paprika, and of course you're going to want the gambas. We call these king prawns in Spanish. We call them langostinos. Langostinos is what you call crayfish. And I will show you just one of these how to prepare it. You can have them whole, or you can have them butterflied. I like the butterfly. So we just pull the head off, make sure you don't pull the head off it. Get a very sharp knife, put it flat on the thing, and cut down the middle, like that. Once you've cut down the middle, you just take off, give this a little wash out, you'll see all the juice all over it, like that. Just take that out, like that. There we go. Clean them up a little bit. Once you've butterflied it, it's easy to take the shell off, just like so. One side, then the other. There you go, and they're butterflied, ready to go. So you do that for as many or as few as you want. Once you've chopped up make sure once you've chopped up the garlic and the chilies especially, you wash your hands in cold water. Reason being, cold water won't open up the pores and it won't get all the capsaicin and all the smell of the garlic inside the pores, and you can't get rid of it. Also, don't scratch the old chap and all that after if you don't wash it, because you know all about it, and don't go near the missus with it. See in a minute. Right, so the oil is still warm, it's not very hot, but you don't want it very hot because you want it to infuse with the chilies and the garlic. So let it heat up a bit in there. This is very quick, this one. Once it starts fizzing away, but it's lovely and hot, turn it down and just let it infuse a little bit longer. So you just let it do its own thing. Once it starts going, all the beer and all the gear down there, turn it down a little bit, just like so. But we haven't got there yet. Right, so at this point, this is where we need to turn it down and let it simmer for a bit longer. And then once it's simmered for a while longer, you see it cooking, that's when we introduce the prawns. Okay, right, so this is at the point, we've turned it back up, it's sizzling away nicely. You put your prawns in, like so, quick as you can. Lovely. Something to stir about. Let them cook for a little while. At this point, you get your paprika, level teaspoon. Let stir about. There we go. Let it do its own thing for a couple of minutes. Doesn't take long. Then we get the wine, ready with the wine. A little bit. A little bit more. And a little bit more. And let it reduce. Right, at this point it's reduced half as much as of the wine and everything that you put in it, and it's ready to go. There you go. There's your prawns. Again, nice bit of green on it, nice bit of basil. Ready to serve. So we've got our triple. We've got the chorizo al vino. We've got the gambas pil, and we've got the patatas bravas. You could cook, traditionally you'd cook these on a gas fire. You can't cook it on a ceramic hob, so we cook it in frying pans and pots and transfer it. But if you've got a gas oven, the clay pots, they're called cazuelas, that's what you can use. So there you go. I've got to look at my beer, it's important because it's not hot in here. So hope you enjoy it. Any questions, please PM me, or send me a message, give me a ring, my number's on the thing. Hope you enjoy it. See you next week. Buen provecho. Muchas gracias.